There was a lot to be gained really by growing up outside of the city, and then going into the city, and taking this feeling with you. You know, it made the city more livable. Although now the city to me is home. I mean, the bigger the city, the better I like it. You have basic ingredients that you can work with, and they are, of course, your words and your music. Now, you also have to have an idea. You have to have images, backdrops. All these things you can sort of accumulate just in traveling around, being out of town, being in other cities, doing concerts in other towns, other parts of the country. But the only time you really get where you can have a compressed period of time when you can put all this stuff together is when you're at home, which is here. And I have just a little room here with a desk in it, and a tape recorder, and a couple of guitars, and this is where I put them together. I will quite often, if I'm in a particular frame of mind, think after I get into bed at night. I'll start thinking, just before I doze off. And I was toying with these words and wondering what could be done with them, you know, like to relate them to some sort of a melody line, and it just sort of struck me. And I immediately, of course, leapt out of bed and jotted down those few lines. I didn't do anything more with the song for 3 or 4 weeks after. All I had was the first line, Pussy Willows, Cattails, and I think I had something like summer winds and roses, although I wasn't knocked out with the second part of the phrase because it was sort of hackneyed, you know. Although I stayed essentially with that phrase, I changed it to soft winds and roses. These are little things that happen. Now, the rest of the song, I did not finish. The idea of the seasons, the 4 seasons in the song, came to me at that initial time. I knew this was the concept, where it would start with spring, with the birth of the swamp plants, the pussy willows, and the cattails. And it would go through summer, it would go through autumn and winter, and it would run a parallel to a love affair between a man and a woman, which would go right around in a complete circular type of thing, back to spring again.